I closed my eyes, I took a drink. I didn't know if it was day or night.
Hello everybody, Blue Whisper here, and today I'm going to show you a little bit about how to make orris root powder. Right here I have some irises growing, and they're beautiful and purple, and they spread out every year. And what I've done is they really needed to be thinned out, and you can save some of the roots and replant them elsewhere, or in this case I dug some up and I'm going to dehydrate the roots after I wash them thoroughly, and you know, put them in my dehydrator, and after they've become dry, I'll, you know, get them to a powder form, and then that can be used in like dream pillows or mojo bags. In ancient time it was used as a base for perfume. They could, you know, get it in the powder form and then extract oil from it. In the powder form they would put it on their linens because it had a nice sweet smell, and it does have a nice sweet smell, sort of like, you know, violets. So I'll stop this right here, take you inside, and show you what I've got started so far. Okay, I'm on the front porch now, and as you can see I've got a little tub of some of the roots that I have dug up, and they've been, these I dug up actually yesterday, and I've been soaking them in some water that I put some sea salt in, and last night they were able to charge in the moonlight. And so now I'm going to take them inside. I'm going to trim the green ends off and cut them up into a little bit smaller pieces, so when I am ready to crush them after they've dried, it'll be a lot easier. And then I'll get these gathered up and washed a little bit more thoroughly, and then we'll go to the next step. Okay, so I brought in my roots, and and I don't know if you can see this okay or not. I have to adjust the camera. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see, I've got my dehydrator back here, and I've got the roots cleaned up. Take the, you know, I've cut the green off. Now, just want to kind of say that for medicinal use, you know, in ancient times, orris, you know, powdered orris root was used. You know, you could take it internally, you know, mouth or whatever, but it was mainly used as an emetic, something to induce vomiting. My use for this is just a magical end, because it can be used in mojo bags. Okay, and hope my camera doesn't go dead again, but as I was saying, everything's in my dehydrator now, and I'm going to turn it on, and I'll come back and hopefully I'll find the charger to my camera by then. I'm going to be using this powder as a dressing for candles and an ingredient in, you know, mojo bags, dream pillows, and this is going to be like a love powder, romance powder to strengthen marriages. And to, you know, bring love, and not necessarily just romantic love, any love, and that's my purpose for this. And I've infused it before I turn on this dehydrator, and I'll be back when it's finished. Okay, so I went ahead and I made my orris root last night, and I powdered it, and that was a good handful. And I like to use the coffee grinder. And so with the orris root, I'm going to make a love powder, and basically this will be to strengthen an existing relationship. someone who wants to strengthen their marriage, and so I'm going to do that today. And these are the ingredients I'm feeling led to put into this powder. This powder is not going to be something that you would take internally, but okay, so my camera died just as I was going to grind my powdered products and show you how that I'm, you know, using different things by dehydrating some of the things that, you know, are easy to get to make a love powder. And this is one, I mean, what I'm going to be making today, I'm not going to add the orris root that I made up. I'm going to save this aside, and when I use it like in a mojo bag or something, then I'll add the orris root. Not that you can't take this internally in small doses, you know, that's fine. But historically it was used as an emetic, but the scent is supposed to, you know, it's supposed to have a very subtle scent, and you know, as I smell it, you know, to me it smells like tea. It doesn't really smell as much like flowers. Of course, you know, um, it might, you know, I mean, if you make an, you know, if you, you know, make an infused oil, or make, you know, you could make an essential oil with that too, I guess, from what I was reading. But, you know, in love spells, it's supposed to be wonderful. So that's something that, like, if I'm making a mojo bag or a dream pillow or something like that, you know, maybe a charm or something that I'm going to add it, and then I'll add it then. But I'm just going to make a basic love powder. And because my camera died, you couldn't see me. I've already added, I've got dehydrated strawberries in this bag. I don't know if you can see this or not. Like I said, now I have to use the shitty camera. So I dehydrate the strawberries until they're super, super dry and brittle. So that it's easier to make it into a powdered form. It smells really good. Same with banana chips. And I've got a bag of banana chips here. You know, dry them till they're extremely dry. And so those things I went ahead and added to the bowl because I only needed a little bit of that right now, and I really need more jars. So, you know, as I add everything, I put my intention in here. So what I am going to add to it today, I've got some fresh ginger that I have dehydrated. I've peeled it, dehydrated it, and of course I ground it in the electric coffee grinder. So, oh, and it smells good. It really, I love ginger. Ginger I use for just about everything. So I'm going to put a good spoonful, you know, a little bit more because I love the smell of it. I'm adding that to the bananas and strawberries. I'm also going to add some powdered eggshell. Now, how I do the powdered eggshell, there's different ways of doing that, but I want to keep it for a long time in the powder form. And so I'll boil the eggs. I save the eggshells after we use them, put them right back in the carton in the refrigerator until I'm ready to make the powder. When I do that, I'll boil the eggshells, I'll drain them, and then I stick them in the dehydrator. And they get nice and brittle like that. But I don't want them, I want, I guess, sterilized. The eggshell has to do with fertility. Also, when you take it like this and form and add it to whatever, it's extra calcium. You know, I mean, this is you could get capsules and just make calcium tablets out of this, or take it as is. So I'm just going to add that to my powder, my love potion. And like I said, if I'm going to make a mojo bag, then I'll add the orris root. I mean, you know, if you could put a little bit in here, because it's supposed to be a very, very long, listen at me, I'm trying to pick words out of the air, and I'm getting it all wrong. It's supposed to be a really strong aphrodisiac in love spells. and tinctures. I mean, you could add a little bit. I wouldn't add too much. But I want to add, a nice spoonful when I'm making up there's a piece of, looks like banana there that didn't get powdered. Of course, once I make this, I can take it back there and do it again, but that's all right. But the powdery form, you could add this to cake mixes, just like it is. Add a good spoonful to some cake mixes or pancakes. It smells wonderful. Mmm. Oh, it does smell good. Um, and, even in this form here, add the root, use it as a wet potpourri. Sprinkle it on your, charcoal when you're, in ritual. You can do so much with this. You get wet potpourri, a wet incense. I'll probably do that because, oh, it smells wonderful. It smells good. Put it in a dream, make a dream pillow, put it under the pillow. Sprinkle a little bit of this in between the sheets and mattress or whatever. The reason I'm even making this, this is something where I want to strengthen a relationship that's already existing. This is not for making somebody fall in love with you. Although I don't have a problem with doing that either, but, it's like, I'm past that now, You get to a certain age, where it's like, romance is a nice concept, but you don't want to have to do this kind of stuff to work for it. You want it to be real. Not that this isn't real, but this is to strengthen a marriage for somebody. After you've been married for so many years, or in the same relationship, things tend to sometimes get boring, and sometimes you just have to do something to strengthen it, maybe spice it up a little bit. This is just a sweet little, something. I mean, if you want some passion and you're making a mojo bag, you want some passion, you want some lust in there, add some cayenne pepper, add chili powder, add something red and hot. Red crushed peppers is one I like to use. Add that to your mix if you're wanting the whole 9 yards. This is just something to strengthen the bond in the unit already, and to put focus back on the relationship. With everyday stresses and everything, sometimes we forget our partners, and this is just to bring focus back. So that's what I'm going to do. Anyway, I've got a jar set up for my powder, and I've made a label for it. After I do my enchantments with this, I like to put it in the jar, and I'll put it up in my window overnight or outside, depending on the weather. If you could put it in a windowsill and let it catch the moon for a full lunar cycle, that'd be great. If not, at least have it out there and let it catch some moonlight. There's something romantic about the moon, and, in part with love potions and love spells and things like that. So, I mean, we're already moon people as it is, but this is something that, you'd want to do that with. I wouldn't use it right away. Get that moon on there. Get the energy. And so, I'm sorry you didn't get to see me make the powder out of the orris root, although I think you saw you have an idea of where I was going with this, from start to finish with how I dry and make my own things. And, I think I may go dig some more up before long. I don't know, if you're anything like me, when you get things in season, you kind of want to stockpile, for the winter. And I'm noticing that the more I come out of the broom closet, the more I'm having people make requests without, spilling any names or whatever like that. And so, I figure, okay, well, maybe I better have certain things on hand because, certain people, I already know what they're going through. And it's only going to be a matter of time before they ask for my assistance with something. And I kind of like to be ready, And so the things that are hard to get and things that you can't get in the store readily, like, for instance, dandelions. Right now is a perfect time to get dandelions in every form. You get the yellow flower, it makes a wonderful tea. The leaves, well, heck, dandelion greens is, you know, it's food. Dandelion, the flowers themselves, you know, you can, you know, fry them just like green fried tomato. They're really good too. Just, you know, wash them real good, dip them a little bit in the egg dip, you know, egg and water mixture. Shake them in a bag of flour, you know, throw them in the frying pan with some salt and pepper, you know. Um, I personally like olive oil. That's my thing, but you know, you might want to use a lighter oil like safflower or sunflower seed oil or whatever when you're frying them. Um, they're really good. And then the root, it makes it, you know, they're bitter. It makes a good coffee substitute though. And then the benefits are wonderful. I mean, it works as a diuretic. And, well, you know, I'm not going to get into this because I'm sure this video is going to be extremely long as it is, but Google it. Google dandelions. I mean, we've got these weeds growing out there and they're wonderful. And then you know, while you're Googling it, look at the magical aspects of dandelions. Um, I've got a couple jars in there. I've got the dandelion root separated from the flowers, and I've got some leaves that I've dried for tea. Of course, you can use the mixture of the flowers and the leaves for tea too, or whatever. However you want to do it. Or if you just want to have something in a nice, pretty jar to display on your shelf, like, look, I'm a witch, I've got all this stuff, you know. Why not? I mean, we can do what we want, right? So take advantage of nature's bounty. You know, she puts it out there, and you know, and I've seen the thing on Facebook, not to kill the dandelions, not to mow over them, because the bees need them, and that's true. I've got enough out in my yard right now to take care of me and the world's population of bees, I'm sure. Um, there's plenty. There's plenty to go around. Let's take advantage of that. Also, when the dandelion gets into the form of, you know, the little balls that when you were a kid you'd pick them and you'd blow them and watch them fly off into the air, make a wish. I saw this online and I thought it was a cool idea, and I'm going to do it. I have grandchildren I see from time to time. Make a wish jar, and just pull the white stuff off of it and pack it into a jar and give it as a gift to a child, you know, your grandchild, your child, or whatever. Tell them it's lucky. Tell them that anytime they need to make a wish, they can pull one out and blow it into the air. I'm kind of a big one on telling the kids to make your wishes realistic. You know, I mean, you don't want a unicorn just to pop up in your backyard, you know, unless you already have horses. I mean, that would be kind of counterproductive because it's just another mouth to feed, and, you know, they like to poke you in the ass with their horn. So ask the children to be realistic with their wishes. You know, if they want to do better on a school test, if they want to play a better game of baseball, maybe they're having a little bit of trouble in their game. You know, give them that and tell them to take a handful and blow it out into the air. You know, in the middle of winter, isn't it cool to be able to have something like that? You know, and in my experience, my grandson thinks it's just this, it's having a witch for a grandmother is like so cool. You know, he can't tell anybody. But, you know, I mean, it's like a secret that he shares with me. Um, he did make the mistake once of telling his other grandmother that his, you know, grandma was a witch, and oh, he needs to stay away from me, and I'm damned to hell, and I'm the devil, and so we had to have a sit-down talk, and, you know, at his young age, he's still old enough to understand that, you know, people will pick on other people for the stupidest of things, and it just basically boils down to people are ignorant. They're ignorant as hell. You know, okay, you can believe that Noah filled an ark with animals and the earth was flooded for 40 days and 40 nights. You can believe that Moses parted the Red Sea. You can believe that people were risen from the dead. Blind people were made to see. That 5,000 people were fed by 2 fish and 1 loaf of bread. But you have trouble believing that wishes can come true. You have trouble believing that somebody is capable of doing something, you know, and you believe it's all fantasy, but you believe all the other stuff. Everything is real. It's what you want it to be. It's what you believe it to be. And if you believe in something strong enough, it will be real. It will be real. And when things happen to you that you don't understand, you know, maybe you pissed off a witch somewhere. Okay, so yes, I am probably being a little bit more offensive than normal right now, but I'm just calling it like I see it. Um, be careful what you say about other people, because I think that, one thing that we witches do understand is the power of our words. And the power of anyone's words, whether they claim to be a witch or not, have the power to build, to destroy, to create war, to create peace, to make friendships and make enemies. And it's all the power of words. And all you have to do is put it out there. You just have to speak it. And by speaking words, things happen, whether it's intentional or not. And I think the difference between a witch and, for better use of the word, and I love it because, what's his name, the other witch? Shaman Mystic. Another witch that's on YouTube. Shaman Mystic something or another. I can't remember offhand. I'm an old lady. Forgive me. He calls them muggles. And it's only been last week that I actually watched some of the Harry Potters. I've never really saw it before. And now I know where he gets that from. So anyway, in the muggle world, the difference between witches and muggles is we know that words contain power, and we know when to say things and put them out there with the energy in the correct way, to get done what we need to get done. And I think a lot of people will say things and not mean it, and it's horrible, because this is how we have a generation of disrespectful people, with the pants hanging down to their knees. If you wear your pants like that, I apologize. I don't mean to be offensive. Yes, I do. I don't care. I hate that. Pull your pants up. Nobody wants to see your hiney, all right? But anyway, if you get around me, I'm liable to give you a wedgie anyway, and because that's how I roll, I'm I'm a crazy grandmother. What can I say? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put this into a jar. I'm going to leave it in the sun for a day, and then to catch moonlight as well overnight. And I'm having trouble because I got a bigger spoon than what I wanted. I really need to get a funnel. They make life so much easier, don't you think? So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and get this video put together, because I know it's in little bits and pieces. I also want to put a couple pictures in between certain clips too, because like I said, my camera died and there were some things I wanted to show you, so I ended up having to take some regular pictures, and then with the video I had to finish it up with the crappy video webcam. But here it is. Anyway, blessed be. If you like my videos, please hit subscribe, give me a like. If you don't, hit subscribe, because I can be even more offensive, and I probably will in the future as I become a little bit more bold in giving my opinions. Agree with me or don't agree with me doesn't matter anyway, because each of us have our own path to follow and our own walk to make, and it's up to each individual. Blessed be.